I'm hugely influenced by Afrofuturism, and what came to my mind was this program developed by Moriba Chow, who had then just won the MacArthur Fellowship, which is called Astriograph. And this is a software that tracks all the satellites and all the debris and all the active moving bodies around Earth. And so what this made us think of is like creating a piece that would reflect on the relationship we have to space and how we might address the ethical questions around space use, relation to space, exploitation, and so forth.
Jessie and I started talking about a piece for guitar 2 years ago, I think. We started developing the ideas together. Jessie had a very clear direction that he wanted to go in, and there was this connection that he had in mind between what we are doing to space and what we have done to Earth in the past. And it's something that I latched onto very much as well. There's this connection with how we have treated, let's say, unexplored space on Earth, and how we are treating the space around the Earth right now, which is to completely project our own immediate needs and desires onto it.
In the very first part of the piece, we use these objects to figure the pollution that we have in space, and this is on our guitars, and this is producing this kind of very strange and spacey sounds. And then all of a sudden there is this quietness in the middle of the piece, this silence that is figurating our dream to somehow discover again silence in space, meaning not anymore all this trash in space that is all around us. And then in the second part we are cleaning that, so we are somehow out of the dream and we are back to the reality, and this reality is that, okay, we need to find a way to clean that.
Why I think this way of thinking is relevant is because I think that is the way of thinking that we will need in a time of climate crisis, in a time in which, as our piece shows a little bit, the space around the Earth is getting problematically crowded, and in a time in which we clearly still have these old paradigms that lead to these kinds of situations, and that we somehow need to rethink.
So we combined different materials that address this question of the climate crisis and social injustices. So we use cotton, rubber, and plastic, as well as this software itself, Astriograph. And to us, to me, they're connected by way of the question of exploitation and pollution. And they also are social questions about who gets to have and how we get to have relations to space and each other, and or what the power relations are in play, and how might we rethink those, make a different way or world in which we relate differently to each other and our environment.
There was again a whole conversation between Pierre and I about how to form the sound and how to create structure with the sound using our own setups and somehow making them complementary, making them match each other. It was a very instructive and an incredibly interesting process.
The idea is how to take the treatment of the images that we receive live and that are sent by Jessie while we are playing, and how do we treat it in terms of sound design somehow, and also with the guitar itself. Not only on the side of playing the guitar, but another way, because we play the guitars on the knees and not the regular way. And also the effects are a real part of it, but we had to talk a lot about it to make it happen the way that it's just the right need of the effects into the music. I think this piece is extremely powerful because it shows that not only is it using different ways to express music, but also with a very powerful meaning.
I worked with Martin and Pierre to develop the sound and come up with a way to frame our storytelling. So following this experimentation phase, we got to work together for a week here at Harvard in Boston, and we really developed the nuances and the intricacies of the possibilities of these sounds or sound worlds and materials. And so the piece tries to ask how we might do that, and it imagines a musical way to listen differently to our environment and to these materials and the people and relations that they bring in and the stories they might tell as to how we might deal with our current situation.